Hello, 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 and welcome to Let's Grow with Yo Yo. It's your girl Yo Yo. Hey, hey. How is everyone doing tonight? I pray all is well, even with everything going on. I pray we all are doing good. We're doing good tonight. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room and let's get talking. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. How are we doing? I pray all had a blessed day today. Yes, it is Tuesday. Tuesday. What is it? April 28th? Yes, April 28th. Anyway, we're going to start with the show. We're going to start with our Did You Know in Black History. Did you know Garrett Morgan Sr. was an inventor of the three-position traffic light? As we know of today, the traffic lights that we have outside, which was patented in 1922. He also invented the gas hood, which is known now as the gas mask, which was patented in 1914. And in 1908, Garrett helped start the Cleveland Association with Colored Men. This is your Did You Know in Black History. Yes, y'all, did you know in Black History? Well, we have a doozy today. We're going to talk about some things and it might touch people's feelings. But before then, I want to talk about that Sparkle and More paparazzi accessory. Yes, I have your $5 jewelry. If you need it, hit it, girl. All right. Now let's begin. We are talking about a few incidences. The Ma'Khia Bryant situation, and then I have Isaiah Brown, and then we're going to talk about Andrew Brown today. But we're going to start off talking about Ma'Khia Bryant. This is a 16-year-old girl who was shot 4 or 5 times by Ohio police, back like last week. Now, as we know, Ma'Khia had called the police. Well, we found that after the fact. And the police responded. Now, this is the thing. And I talked to a few other police officers about this. People probably were already outside calling the police. So they probably got a call, but it might not have been her phone call that made this cop respond to the incident. Well, he gets there. He gets out the vehicle. And as you see, as he's coming out, Ma'Khia is running, trying to stab one girl that actually fell to the ground. And then she went over to attack another female that had that was in pink, and she had a knife. Now, as I know, I'm gonna get a lot of riff, a lot of craziness behind this. However, let's think about this. He had seconds to respond. The police officer had seconds to respond to what was going on. He gets out the car and he sees her coming toward him with another female who falls on the ground. And then she falls and she attacks another female that was by the car. So actually, it was a justifiable homicide. It's wrong to say that. Now, don't get me wrong. If anybody who is a police officer or in the military, you just don't fire one shot, right? You fire a couple of shots and things go on. I don't know what's going on with my thing, but it's in slow motion today for some reason. Well, it's supposed to be a storm coming. But anyway, and he fired 4 to 5 shots and he killed this young lady. We are in an uproar about police brutality, people being murdered. Black people at that rate being murdered. We are overwhelmed, I believe, with this. And as a society, I think we need to come together and figure out not defunding police, but training police and the community about de-escalation. And we are sitting here. I'm frozen. Am I frozen, y'all? Tell me if I'm frozen. I have it on another computer, but I don't know if it's frozen because I looked at this one and I see I'm frozen. Anyway, so we have it to where this cop, this police officer, in a split second, 5-second, 10-second decision, decides to go ahead and shoot this young lady. Granted, she called the police. Granted, she was defending herself against these other women. They were grown women. And I had the 911 call, but my screen froze, so I'm not going to be able to share it with you, about the 911 call where she said there was adult women that were trying to attack her, jump her, and putting their hands on her grandmother. Oh, it finally came back up. Putting her hands on her grandmother. Now, let me see if I can do this. And I don't know if you all be able to hear it, but I'm going to try to share this screen with you so you can hear. It. Oh, there it is. Listen to it.
Big mini weapon. We need a police officer
So
here now.
this was, and don't get me wrong, that was Fox News. So I did Fox News showed the whole call. I didn't see it on MSNBC or NBC or CNN, so I pulled it off of Fox News. And it stated that these grown women were there attacking her and her putting their hands on her grandmother. So she went inside the house and got the knife. And she made the call. I don't know, whatever transpired. We weren't there. I saw an incident where the neighbor across the street got the whole incident on film, and he spoke about it on Good Morning America. Now, as I watch this, I honestly do believe that you kill one to save 1,000. And I hate to say it that way, but even though, I don't know, people say they could have tased her, they could have you grabbed her. Now, that's a possibility. There is a possibility that could have happened. However, you don't have time in incidents like that to react. What if he would have, tried to subdue her and he gets stabbed? Or he's getting his taser and the taser didn't work at the time and she still stabs the young lady. Whatever the incident it was, he made a split-second decision and he fired a shot that killed this young girl. I believe it was a lot. It was a lot for her. It was a lot for the family, not a lot for her, but a lot for him because he has to deal with this for the rest of his life. That he killed a young girl, a teenager, in the middle of an argument, a fight or something. And we don't know what he's feeling, what he thought. I know he's on administrative leave at the time right now. So that is an incident that we all have to look at closely because I feel, and I have to take my feelings out of it a lot, that it was justifiable. That she was attacking this young lady and he had to do something. People may think I'm wrong for saying this, or I could be misquoted. But listen, we have a society and we have to think. All police officers are not bad. All people are not bad. And I don't believe this man went out with the intention that he was going to kill a teenage black girl this day. Right? I don't believe he did that. I don't believe that in his mind, he was coming to a call thinking, I'm going to shoot her. Or I would have to draw my weapon to shoot somebody. He thought it was just a domestic violence call. You know, two people, kids fighting in the neighborhood. The cops get called. They break it up. They go on. But this one, she had a knife. And he made a judgment call. Was it right? Some say no. Some say yes. Me, he had the right to shoot because I believe she would have stabbed that young lady. Not only her, let's talk about in that whole scenario, it was a man, when the girl fell on the ground, that black man kicked her in the head. Now that was totally outrageous, I believe. I was looking at the thing, but then I started thinking, if these women came to jump Ma'Khia and her brother or cousin or somebody was there, my brothers, I know, now you ain't about to fight my sister. You know, y'all ain't about to jump my sister. So they might have grabbed her, slung her off of me or something. I know they probably wouldn't have kicked her in the face, but I'm sure they wouldn't have got on top of me that with them around. They would have knocked them off or something or whatever. Was he wrong for doing that? I don't know. I can't say yes or no. All I can say is if this lady was getting back up to jump Ma'Khia, he was protecting his sister, his cousin. We don't know who that young man was that was there, but he was there. And he kicked her in the head. Now, he shouldn't have kicked her in the head. He should have just pushed her back down or something, or subdued her to where she couldn't get back up to try to jump back in. When a split-second decision, this man kicked this female in the head. Yes, Nessa, agree. You have to, that's just, I can't see myself out. I see a girlfriend of mine getting jumped, or if I was a man and my sister is getting jumped, that I won't try to keep the girls from jumping them. That's just crazy. And I don't believe that the police officer was wrong for shooting. Again, this is just I'll take this all right now. If you agree, disagree, let's have a conversation about it. But we need to stop saying that white police officers are slaying black people. However they are. But this incident, I don't believe that the police officer was wrong. He was not wrong because he had a split second. 5-second decision he had to make to keep her from stabbing. What if she would have stabbed this girl and this girl would have died? Not only would people be outraged that he didn't stop her from stabbing this young lady, this 6-year-old girl probably would have had a murder charge or an assault with a deadly weapon charge. You see what I'm saying? All this adds up. So it was just crazy. Nessa says, no, the situation was a sticky one. Had nothing to do with cover. The officer made a judgment call. Exactly. He made a judgment call. Again, kill one to save 1,000. There was a lot more people. We don't know when she first came out, she was attacked. Well, when we first saw the body cam, she was going after the girl that fell on the ground. Then she turned around and went to the girl in the pink. So we don't know. I'm just going to say everything was so fast. Everything, by the time he got out and his hand was out saying what's going on here, and then he saw Ma'Khia trying to stab the young lady, he decided to go ahead and shoot. I mean, I have people saying he should have tased her. He could have wrestled her to the ground. First of all, I don't know how many people have been in fights in your life. When you are in a fight, your adrenaline is running. It's going. You're wilding out. And females are crazy when they fight. So you mean to tell me he's supposed to turn around and run away and not, try to grab her? She could have came back and slit his face. She could have cut his throat. Something would have happened if he tried to grab her and she's walling trying to stab somebody. So again, it was a split-second decision. It happened. I pray that it doesn't, to me, it's not in the same category as a Adam Toledo or Breonna Taylor or a Dante. Those are totally different incidents from this of George Floyd. This is something totally different, and I just hope and pray that we think rationally when it comes to this situation, because not only is this situation um, a difficult one, there's going to be a lot of other situations. Now let's get on to my second topic, Isaiah Brown. Now this is a 32-year-old man who was shot by police a week ago. We didn't really hear too much about him or whatever. He is still in intensive care ICU right now, fighting for his life. Now, with this incident, Isaiah Brown was on the phone with he was calling 911 because him and his brother got into a argument, a physical altercation per se. And he called the police. I'm not sure if his brother called the police or whatever. The police came. Isaiah was out on the block walking, pacing back and forth. He was on the phone with 911 when the police officer pulled up and told him to put his hands in the air. Now, this is where it gets very traumatic to me. He had his hands in the air. He had the phone. It wasn't a cell phone. It was like a house phone or something in the air. And the police thought it was a gun. Now, I don't know about you, but I know about me. I wear my glasses and I can't really see that good, but I could tell the difference between a cell phone, a house phone, and a gun. He was shot, I think it was 4 or 5 times. For what? And the bad part about it was he was on the phone with 911. And he was telling them, look, me and my brother got into an argument. This is what happened. Come, because I don't want to fight him. It's this, that, and the other. So he's on a call with 911. The cops come and they shoot him because they thought he had a gun in his hand. Now, I don't know about y'all. And I don't know what kind of eyes you all have. But again, a cell phone, a house phone, and a gun looks totally different. Now, this incident happened it was at night, like at dusk, somewhere around there. So maybe he thought it was, I don't know. But that goes back to, if you have your hands in the air, if your hands are in the air and you see my hands, even if I have a weapon, you see my hands. You go behind your car door with seat cover, tell him to put whatever he has in his hands down, and then tell him to lie on the ground with his hands up in the air or whatever, kick the gun or whatever out the way. If he started shooting, you already covered, so then I can see you to exchange the fire. But it was a phone. He had a phone in his hand. Now, this man is fighting for his life. He is fighting for his life. There is no way in the world that, to me, I don't want to say it was intentional, but I believe the cop knew better. That's just me. I think he just knew better, or he just was trying to be a hero. I don't know, y'all. But I know I'm tired of our black and brown men and women getting killed. Out of control. This is getting way, 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 way out of control. And this young man is he is still in critical condition. He's still fighting for his life. The officer at question has been put on administrative leave. He is awaiting to see if they're going to press charges or anything like that. And I feel like that incident with Isaiah Brown, the officer that shot him, he needs to be charged. To me, you could have done something differently in that incident because he had a phone in his hand and his hands was raised in the air. How can you tell me that you had every right to shoot this man when his hands are in the air? And I think I said this last week or the week before that. What? Nessa, you said, I don't think intentional. I think the cop was scared and made a hastily decision, not assessing the situation when he came to the scene as he should have. That's true. That is true. However, if you tell the person to sit up and put their hands in the air, and their hands in the air, yes, he had here's a remote. I have a remote in my hand, and you say, gun, he get behind, put your weapon down. Okay, I'm gonna put it. But he was on the phone with 911. You see, he was on the phone talking to 911 about the incident that just happened between him and his brother. So he was trying to explain to them so they could put it in the notes for the police officers. So yeah, you assess the situation, but if you see a man outside and you tell him to put your hands up, my hands are up. I have something in my hand. That does not mean to go open fire on me. Ain't nobody else around. Is that a weapon? Or something to keep them from attacking or shooting someone. That incident to me could have been avoided. It didn't need to go that far. That was just ridiculous. This man is now in critical condition, and the police officer's at home on administrative leave, chilling. Like, no. Ma'Khia's incident, I believe it was a justifiable. This incident with Isaiah Bryant, no. Because I know 911. I'm sure they type in some stuff. Hey, man is on the phone. Da 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 da. He has the phone. As it says, facts. Undertrained cops nowadays, and he need to be on administrative leave with no pay. No, he still has his pay. Which is really crazy to me. Like, I'm like you. He should have did it. They should have put him on administrative leave with no pay, but here we are. They just didn't. It's the time. The police officers seem like they have more rights than citizens. And that's where I think their union reps come in, where they stick up for the police officers and all this other stuff. I was talking to my cousin earlier today, and he was telling me that, when you're a police officer, when something like that, you have a split second to react. And I understand that, and I get it. He was like, there's plenty of times, you got to come in contact with it. And it depends on the person, how you react to everything. Like the one with Ma'Khia. He didn't have... Heck, things was already out of control. People were swaying, falling, kicking, and she had a knife. So he didn't have time to assess and see what was going on. He had to react. With Isaiah Brown, he could have done that differently. He should have done that differently. It was no way this man should have been shot 4 times and now is in critical condition. That's too much. That's craziness to me. That brings me to Andrew Brown. It's like we couldn't even get a year past George Floyd's murder before they started. It's like they, one after the other, they go on every week. Somebody's getting, a black person getting shot. Now, with Andrew Brown, from my reading, in some articles, and from me looking at the news, and I was watching his neighbor had said she watched everything from her window and she recorded it. He was already in the car getting ready to leave before the cops pulled up. The cops came to issue a warrant on drug-related charges. Now let me stop right there. Angeline says, cops have been killing black people for years, but y'all think they need more training. Nope. They are shocked that they are finally being held accountable. Yes, they are being held accountable. Yes. And I am shocked that we're finally holding police officers accountable. because they have been doing it for years. Correct. And not only that, it's now being recorded, so you can't get away with it. Understand? Not only with their body cams, but people around them are being recorded. However, some cops still have gotten off, right? So back to Andre Brown. He was already in the car getting ready to leave. Cops around the car. They was issuing a warrant for drug-related charges. Now, you're a drug dealer. I don't know what kind of drugs he was selling, weed, heroin, who knows, right? You knew sooner or later you was going to get arrested or warrant. He was in the car about to leave. From what the neighbor had said is that he had put his hands on a steering wheel. And again, we in our cell phones, y'all. We in a cell phone world. He had his cell phone in his hand and his hands was on the steering wheel. They assumed it was a gun. They opened fire. Now, the neighbor stated he tried to leave to get away from all the bullets flying in the air. Because it was more than 10, he got hit 10 times, but it was more than 10 shots fired, right? He tried not to hit the police officers and hit a tree or something. And the fatal shot was a shot to the head, and it lodged in his brain. Now, I don't know about you. Nobody deserves to die that way. Nobody. By police officers or no one else. He was shot in the back. They said that he had his hands on the steering wheel still when they came, and he was dead. This man, granted, they did a warrant because he was selling drugs. Okay, but does that give anybody the right to be shot down or gunned down by police officers like that? I say no for 1,000. I say no. That's crazy. Angeline Wright, this case is terrible. They shot him in the back. They shot him in the back. The fatal shot was to the back of the head, and the bullet enlarged in his brain. Do y'all know how horrific that is? Now, those officers, 7 of them. You can't justify this one for me. You cannot. You can't say it was, because, no. I don't care if he was a big time kingpin. He was in his car, his hands on the steering wheel. Granted, he had a cell phone in his hand. But 9 times out of 10, anybody in their car has their cell phone in their hand. Either they texting, GPSing, or on the phone. One or two. And I hate that. I can't stand it. I do it too. I'm guilty. And I'm learning to put my phone down. However, when I get stopped by the police, hey Siri, I'm getting stopped by the police. You're not gonna catch me off guard. Lord Siri, no. My Siri was trying to go off, y'all. So this is getting out of control, and they are on 2 of them. 2 of the police officers quit, and the rest of them on administrative leave. Now, what my dad says, he believes that the 2 officers quit because they want to keep their pension. That may be a possibility, but I feel like they all need to be tried, just like Chauvin was tried. You murdered this man. 10 times in the back, not front. They said it was like 7 shots or in the windshield, but none of them was the fatal shot. The one to the head was. That is just crazy. We are getting picked off. Okay? Picked off. And I don't know. We have to have, I want to say, police reform. You can't defund them because we do need police officers. We do need civil servants to help when things get out of hand. We do need that. There's no way we can get rid of police officers. We need to wean out the bad ones. Well, how are we going to know that? And again, I was talking to who is an ex-police officer who was retired from New York Police Department. And he stated that, it's easier now for police officers to tell on each other. And they get, someone get investigated than it was back in the day. So maybe if more cops will come out against police brutality, this wouldn't be as bad as it is. I don't know, y'all. But let me read y'all some statistics. There were 5,367 fatal police shootings within a 5-year period, according to the Post database. Native Americans were killed by police at a rate 3 times more than white people, 77 total killed. Black people, African Americans, were killed at 2.6 times the rate as white people, 1,265 total killed. Come on, y'all. What's that say? Hispanics were killed at a 1.3 times rate as white people, 889 killed. Among unarmed victims, Black people, African Americans, were killed 3 times the rate, 218 total, and Hispanics 1.45 times the rate of white people. And that was news.yale.edu, and that was in October of 2020. So y'all tell me how crazy that is. Like, how crazy is it for you to sit up here and kill us like that? Angeline says police departments know exactly who their trouble ops are. People file complaints all the time. Yes, they do. But people may file complaints, but do we have internal affairs to go in that's really going to do it? Are they going to help them? Are they going to do this and the other? Or like it is, the union's going to stick up for the people and keep the officers there, and because they have rights. It's like the rights of the officers supersedes the rights of the people. And this is how I feel even about Congress and everything. We are the people. We keep them in positions. Your police chiefs, your DAs, your assistant DAs, all them, we put them in position. This right here, this is in October 2020. And African American and Hispanic people are being killed at an enormous rate. Why? By police officers. So tell me, why are we picking our people off? Like, why? What's going on? We need to figure out something. And I know President Biden has this police reform bill coming up. People, we have people fighting against that. They don't want that. They think it's, we're wrong. We shouldn't defund the police, but we're not defunding the police. I think we need better training. Can we get rid of them and start over? Can we fire everybody and start over? Can we do that? Can we just fire everybody? And I remember Cat Williams once said, can we take a break? Can we enjoy being single for about a couple of years without all this? Can we just take a break and chill and not have nobody? But of course, that's not going to happen. But can we just get a break? Can we help it? Dang, I am sick of talking about this. But if we don't talk about it, how we, the people, going to know this is going on? And then also, you have to vote. You have to vote these people out of office and put people in that are going to help you, who has the same mindset as you do. Not trying to let people get over, but come on, we need more of us in there. We need more women in there. We have to put more people in place to help us. We cannot think that Tim Bob over here has your best interest at heart. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some that are working hard to help and protest and put legislative forward for Black and brown people, but it's not enough. It might be 2 of them and 20 of the others. Until we start doing what we need to do as a people, as a country. Listen, I said this once, I said it again. When your 45th president was in office, we already knew racism was here, but people kind of hid it a little bit. He made it okay to call people niggas. No police officer was getting prosecuted for killing somebody. Again, as I said with Chauvin and all those other officers with George Floyd, the reason why I believe, this is Yo-Yo's belief, I could be wrong, why this case, and one, because more officers spoke up, more police officers and his police chief spoke up against that, and because we were in the start of a pandemic and everybody was home. The world was home. So they saw it. We couldn't escape that. Now that everything is opening back up, people going out doing this and going out doing that, you really don't see the whole world or a whole country banding together saying that this is right and this is wrong. No. They ain't worried about it now because they out doing their own thing. So that's when we need to stick up for each other. We need to start speaking out, going to your council meetings, going to your what do you call these people? The cities or your state representatives, going to your state House of Representatives, your senators, all that. Put it out there. It's getting out of hand. The mayors, the governors, the lieutenant governors, all them. You know, I was on a call with what's the man named Cochran in Texas. He had a town hall meeting via call. And my question was, what are you doing to help stop police? What are you putting in process to help stop the police from killing Black and brown people? He couldn't say nothing. What is that? We have to put fire to these people's behind, y'all. Because if not, they're going to still pick us off. And again, you got the body cams and people are recording. But we still have to stick up for ourselves. Non-violently, but then again, by any means necessary. You got Martin Luther King. We're going to try to do this non-violent. We're going to protest. We're going to walk these streets. But then we might have to turn Malcolm X and go by any means necessary. Because we're down off too much. And the police are protected. Why aren't we protected? Why aren't we protecting ourselves? Now, I'm not going to tell you that I live in a nice neighborhood and stuff, and the police patrol here, everybody speak and stuff. It's not where I am right now, you see. But I do know people that live in the ghetto, the projects. They're slow. Police officers slow to get there. They slow to do this. Hey, Ma'Khia Bryant lived in a nice neighborhood. But again, she was being jumped by some women and she was retaliating with a knife. And she got killed. I don't say she was murdered. I'm sorry. I can't say that Ma'Khia was murdered. All I can say is she was killed by the police. Justifiably. And I don't know anybody on here answering. You was in the Army. If you're still up here, Nessa, When you fire your weapon, you just fire one shot, or do you keep going? Because I can't just fire one round and that's it. I don't know about you all, but I know about me. And again, we have to do something, because if not, we're gonna become extinct or something. Well, Angeline, you didn't see when I saw on the 911 call, she had stated there was ladies, grown women. These were grown women who were trying to jump her and putting their hands on her grandmother. So that was a 911 call, and you can hear all the commotion in the background. And she was telling her grandmother to come back in and get out the way. So they were trying to jump her. And we don't know it was because of anything or anybody. We don't know. A girlfriend of mine said it's probably over some little nappy head boy or man or something. Who knows? But we know it was a fight. Regardless, it was a fight that was happening. And we saw one girl that she was going after fell on the ground. And because the girl fell, she just stopped. But then she turned her way over to the female that was by the car that was in the pink. And again, he had maybe a 5-second judgment call, and he had to do what's best. And I always say, I'm gonna say this. I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. You kill one to save 1,000. We don't know if he wouldn't have shot her or tried to subdue her, if he wouldn't have got stabbed, or she wouldn't have still stabbed that little girl, that woman, or would she have turned around and stabbed that chick that fell on the ground? And I don't know if you was up here when I said about the man who kicked the girl in the face. Was he wrong for kicking her in the head? I don't know. The reason why I say this, and I'm going to say it again, this is for Angeline, because I know my brothers. And if I was being jumped or my sister was being jumped, they are going to do what they have to do to get them females off of me. Whether it's punch one of them, sling one of them off, or whatever, to get them off of me. We don't know who that young man was who was there. That could have been her brother, her cousin. We don't know. He shouldn't have kicked her in the head. But he could have slung her back down on the ground so she wouldn't have got back up. Either way, this young girl was killed. Either way, Isaiah Brown is in intensive care, in critical condition right now, fighting for his life because the police shot him. Andrew Brown is dead because the police shot him. These last two cases, you can't compare to Ma'Khia's. You cannot. They are involved by the police, but they're 3 separate incidents. Like, she was getting ready to stand by these two. One was walking in the street with a phone in his hand, and the other one was driving. I believe the cops. Now with Isaiah Brown, he had his hand in the air, and they saw a phone. It was no reason to open fire. That's just Yo-Yo's opinion. I could be wrong. But here we are. No one deserves to be gunned down. Andrew Brown, he didn't deserve to be shot that many times by police over a warrant. He didn't have to be. Isaiah Brown didn't have to be shot. He was on the phone with 911 at the time of him being shot. Just think what that 911 caller must feel also. If we are scared to call the police for the people to protect us, how are we going to protect us? We are being killed 3 times the rate as white people. 3 times the rate. Unarmed Black people are being killed 3 times the rate. And only 2.6 times the rate if you have a weapon than white people. Something has to give. We have to do better as a people. We have to do better as a country. But guess what, y'all? It all starts with us. We need to do better. So I'm going to leave you all tonight with this. What can you do to make things better for us as a people? Voting, protesting peacefully, and still raise your hands when the police tell you to stop. I wish you all well. I wish you all safe. I love you all and thank you for joining me tonight. Y'all have a great night. I talk to you all later.